Taking a slow, deep breath, allowing everything to come forward, none of it to hide behind you, instead to be part of your interconnectedness of who you are, who you have been, and who you will be in the future. Taking a slow, deep breath, relaxing into your chair, maybe even lying down on your bed, feeling everything being comfortable. And before you go more deeply into meditation, before I walk you through those components, I invite you to say to your spirit guides, and this can be whatever is good for you. It could be working with a particular spirit guide. It could be your angels. It could be the universal life force energy. It could be Mother, Father, God. Everything that is important to you that you're calling down to help with this particular healing, I invite you to call them forward and to give them permission. So you may say something as simple as, angels, I am here for healing. Or you may have your own specialized prayer. I invite you to go to the brain, figure out what you want to say, and then gently allow that to come out 3 times with your voice to your spirit guides. Beautiful. Now that you have given permission for your spirit, for your spirit guides to come and to work with you, there's really nothing else you need to do. You've given permission. You have said to them of your own free will that, yes, I want things cleared out. I want my physical body to be taken care of so that there's no cells that aren't acting for the optimal health that I am calling for. I want my mental body, not just my brain, but also my attitude and my decision making to be brought up to a higher level, the level where you never had pain or suffering, the level where your attitude is one that is directly involved with your own spirituality, the attitude where everything is based in love and integrity. You have said to your spirit guides, yes, I want my emotional body to finally get cleaned out. You know that you've been dragging some trapped emotions from this life, maybe as a baby, small child, maybe even as an adult if you had a traumatic event or events in your life, but also from past lives. And so when you say to your spirit guides, yes, I want healing, they don't look at this particular chapter. They look at all of your lives. They look at what is now, of course, that's what you own. But what is now is an accumulation of everything that has happened before this. So when we look at it and say, oh, that's good. Take those emotions that are no longer serving me. Those are the trapped ones that are here from before. Get rid of them so that your natural emotional body, which is a gift from God, which is love and integrity, can bump itself up. And then you've also said with just a few words to your spirit guides, and work on my spiritual body too. Allow the soul that holds my spirituality to release itself. I often see the soul as a round sphere and it has dents in it because of lifetimes past, when you've been dented, when someone has dispirited you, when someone has lowered your vibration. And so when I speak to spirit about opening up your soul, I really do see it as them being inside that spirituality of yourself and simply pressing it out, allowing those dents to be released. So the sphere that you came to this planet with will again become that beautiful sphere filled with love and integrity and joyousness. So taking a slow, deep breath, feeling your spirit guides all around you, perhaps even feeling a little bit crowded. You know that you came to this planet with many spirit guides. And then you're also accumulating others. Some of them may be stepping in for a particular time in your life, maybe something that you're doing at the moment. Some of them step in just for this healing. If you have some old contracts that have held you down, then Lady Nada, which is our ascended master who is here to release contracts, of course, she would step in. So some of them might feel like you're getting a little crowded. It's okay. It's being wrapped in love and warmth and caring, and that is perfect. Taking a slow, deep breath, going to your feet. If they are crossed, please uncross them. Again, it's simply because we want everything to flow, and the more that it has that availability, the easier it is. Allowing that gentle warmth to go up from your toes, up through your legs, flowing all the way up to your waist. And now everything from your waist down just feels comfortable, feels a little bit warmer than it did a minute ago, and that's just the vibration of love. And now we allow that relaxation to go up our back, to your shoulders. You may actually feel almost as if warm water was going from your shoulders down your arms, particularly if you're carrying a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. We want to relax them and allow it to flow down. And then coming up the front body through your abdomen, through your heart, again to your shoulders, filling yourself with relaxation, filling yourself with love and gentleness and caring. And then again, when you get to the shoulders, allow that to slide down. I want to speak to you for a moment about this particular part where you're allowing that responsibility to slide off your shoulders. It's very interesting that personal responsibility is not carried in our shoulders. When you feel this, or you feel this weight on your shoulders, it's not because you're overly responsible adult to yourself. And it's not because you are watching out for your children, if you have any minor children. When you're carrying it like this, that is unwarranted responsibility. That's feeling responsible for things that are not your deal. Maybe for other adults, maybe for your parents, maybe for experiences that you had 30 years ago and you're still feeling like, oh, that was my fault. I shouldn't have done that. It's okay. Relax the shoulders. Let those experiences, let those guilty feelings just slide down, because you are not responsible. You are responsible for what you are doing in your now. Whatever came before that is just to build you to this point. So allow that responsibility, blame maybe even, that you've been carrying around about who your parents are, who your children are, as long as they're not minor. Your young children, of course, are your responsibility to be as loving and caring as you can possibly be based on the tools that you have. But the rest of the world, they're supposed to be responsible for themselves. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't take some action, but don't carry that responsibility. Don't carry that blame. Instead, release and take action. Release, and then whenever those thoughts come into your head, instead of taking that blame onto your own shoulders, you think, I am sending them love. I am sending them open integrity, not hidden integrity, but open integrity, that movement of love and honesty. For those of you that know anything about Ho'oponopono, perfect. Just to send out to them. There's only now 2 statements for Ho'oponopono. We shortened it after the change, which was, I love you, I love you, I love you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now imagine, instead of this, everything's relaxed. And when you find out about a news story about people that are hurt, or you hear about your adult siblings that are going through a rough time, instead of taking the blame, you just relax and send them love and gratitude, the 2 highest vibrations. I love you, I love you, I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I guess you really didn't have to know a whole lot about Ho'oponopono because I just taught it to you. So relaxing and allowing that relaxation to go down your hands to your fingertips, dripping off your fingertips. Now that relaxation goes up through the back of your neck, through your skull. I want you to feel that relaxation in ways that you can't even imagine that the physical can do. But remember, whatever your intention is, it can happen. So when you say to the physical part of you, it's okay, relax your scalp, relax your hair, going up through the front, relaxing your throat, relaxing your cheeks and your face, relaxing your sinuses, relaxing the inner workings of your beingness, even things like your bones or your pineal gland, all of those. And how do you get them to relax? First of all, by telling them to, because it's your intention that is most valuable. And then by sending them love, because just like when you hold a baby and you give them love and warmth and they relax and fall asleep on your shoulder, why? Because they feel safe. The same thing with you. You send safety when you send love. So you send safety to your inner wisdom, to your spirit guides, to your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual body. All the way up to 18 inches above your head, sending that relaxation. Allow it to flow down through you. Allow every part of you to simply relax into your chair, into your couch, lying on your bed. And knowing that in that relaxation, it is this open invitation to your spirit guides. And now, although they started working as soon as you gave them permission, each time you relax, each time you take that slow, deep breath, each time part of you feels more warmth and love and integrity, it allows them to ramp up, basically. It allows them to feel that lovingness inside of you, which opens up that space so that they can do their work. Taking slow, deep breaths. We call on your angels, first of all, to do a very succinct check through your body, not simply skipping through, but starting again 18 inches above your scalp, going down through the physical body. For some of you, this will be a very slow process. And for others, perhaps ones that have gotten energy healing on a regular basis, it'll be a quicker process. But we're going to honor just that delicate process that your angels are going through the physical body. We're not asking them to go anywhere else at the moment, so that anything that is in a sense of weakness, anything that feels out of sorts to them, they can work directly with the physical body. Just let them do their work. If feels some kind of stagnation in there, if you feel any kind of clenching, then just send it love. Just send it almost as if you were enjoying the process, because you are. You called your angels in. You know that what you're looking for is this greater evolution, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. And you know that you have a very big job to do on this planet, and you need that physical energy in order to do it. You are youthing. You are finding yourself with your cells as they reproduce, being healthier and happier than they were the last time they reproduced. And you keep that up and keep that up, and you find yourself living a very long, happy, healthy life. Allowing your spirit guides to direct and your angels to go through your body. Any space that feels a tightness, you simply allow it to flow. Send light, send love, send warmth. If there's any part of the physical body that becomes uncomfortable, please move your body, because sometimes it becomes uncomfortable because they're trying to move energy through there and it just is meeting some resistance. So if you need to shift your from side to side, please do that. And most importantly, send it love so it can relax and it can allow the angels to do their job. Now, like I said, for some of you, this will take a longer time than for others, and that's fine. We know that when Archangel Raphael looks over the physical body, he sends his legions upon legions of angels to work. So it may be that you're very quickly taken care of because angels don't take that much time. It may be that it's taking a little bit longer because your own physicality is fighting a little bit. It's all right. As those angels continue to do their work, we can move on to the mental body. We're not telling them stop. We're just saying that's a different group of angels. They will continue to do their work, and we will call in the angels that are working with the mental body. Simply relax. Your thoughts, once we start to talk about the mental body, may become even louder. They may be looking for answers, and all we want them to do is to be quiet. And it's okay, because no matter how loud they are, they're simply coming in one side and going out the other. And so looking at your mental body, clearing it, allowing the old thought patterns, the old limiting beliefs, the old mental tapes, if you will, all those woulda, shoulda, couldas that go through us, it's okay. The angels will simply work with that mental body, pull out those tapes, and send them to the light. Everything is treated with love and respect. Everything is sent to the light of the heavens because everything is energy. Everything came from source. Therefore, it is all beautiful and wonderful. Those thoughts were not bad thoughts originally. Those were protective thoughts. Those were thoughts that needed to be there at the moment. Unfortunately, sometimes they get trapped in there, and that's what we want to be released, be sent to the light. Again, they're not only working with your thought body, they're also working with your attitude. They're also working with your understanding of your own decisions and working with that responsibility, which is a lot more the mental body than emotional body, which is kind of an interesting thing as a healer too. Working with that responsibility, and they think, okay, how can we allow this human to have more open space? Because your mental body, your decisions, your attitude need to have more room to grow, because we will be learning so much new technology. I don't mean that you need to buy a new computer technology, but technology of how to pull down more messages from spirit, the technology of how to do more profound energy healings. This kind of technology also needs space in the brain, space in the attitude, space in the acceptance. You know, when we speak about someone not accepting things, what do we call them? Hard-headed, not hard-hearted, that's different. Hard-headed, they won't accept things. Well, we know that you're not meaning to be hard-headed, but sometimes there's just not enough space there. So we call on your spirit guides to direct the angels to take out all those old thought forms and limiting beliefs, so it opens up that space, so that when, during your dream time, during your meditation, walking down the street, if you're hyper aware of your spirit guides around you giving you information, that you'll be receiving that information, that you'll get it. It'll open up brand new caverns of information within you that you can explore, that you can fully embrace, that you can allow more wisdom to come to you. So again, the angels working through the mental body, the thought patterns, the decision making, the attitude. There are other components to the mental body, but I think that pretty much takes care of what we're normally looking at. And we ask them to go down through the entire body. And of course, it doesn't stop here. You know, your bodies go way out into your auric field. So they're checking all of that. Taking slow, deep breaths. If a thought comes by and it causes you any kind of aggravation, frustration, angst, it's okay. You're never going to stop your thoughts, but you're just going to not hold your thoughts. So if it comes in, just let it go through. And as it goes through, you will find that magical clearing. You will find yourself sitting up taller when you talk to people, because you'll feel yourself more empowered. You will find yourself making decisions based on who you are rather than what has happened to you in the past. So letting them all work through the mental body. Beautiful. Beautiful. When you feel resistance, send love, send warmth. I find that Archangel Michael very often helps us with the mental body because your mental body is protective energy. And it's basically overused protective energy. And so Michael very often will come into your mental body and say, basically, here's what you need to do, not all this. So if you feel, envision, see Archangel Michael, that you know that he is there to direct the movement of the angels, his angels, to allow that mental body to relax. We're going to hold the emotional body for the last. So the next one that's coming in is your spiritual body. And we ask your guides to look very deeply in your spiritual body. Everything that you are is an accumulation of the experiences that have come to you and how you took them in. So now that you're looking to be the absolute, now that you're building your own spirituality so that we can build the golden age, we want to make sure that you have as much space in your soul as possible. So we call in the angels to do the work that your spirit guides have directed them to do, to say, okay, puff that up a little bit, get rid of those dings, kind of tap from the inside. Because to me, the worst thing that someone can do to another human is to make them dispirited. And it's happened many times. And we don't blame those humans. Again, everyone is working with the tools that they have to the best of their ability. So I'm not blaming, I'm just saying that it happens. And because it happens, and because we're aware of it, we don't shy away from it. We say to the angels, yes, take away anything that lowered my vibration. Take away anything that made me dispirited. Take away anything that lowers me from that deep love of other. Sometimes I've had clients say to me when we do this particular one, it's almost like there's a little rubber mallet inside. Bing, 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 getting rid of those dents. So you may feel a kind of a little ting sound, or you may feel kind of like an opening, an expansiveness, and that is your soul being well cared for by your angels, your guides, by Mother, Father, God. And again, remembering that when we shift from one body to another, we're never stopping the progress. We're just allowing it to move, and we're allowing it to be what it is to be and calling in the next group. So they are working on your soul. They are working on your mental body. They are working on your physical body. Beautiful. Now we're calling in the angels that work specifically with your emotional body. The reason that your emotional body, for healing purposes, gets a lot of attention is because we know that you use about 80 or 85% of your daily energy on your emotional body. When you have the opportunity to use 80%, let's just keep it a nice round number, on your emotional body, and you're using it on your emotional body of love and happiness and joyousness and enjoying life, then that's fabulous. What a great way to spend most of your energy, most of your day. Unfortunately, we also know that people can choose to spend 80% of their time, their energy each day in an emotional body that is not filled with love and caring and integrity, but an emotional body that's filled with pain. Something bad happens, and that's pain. And that happens, it's part of our earthly experience. However, when pain stops, then we're finished. It's over. It's not trapped. When pain stays and it becomes suffering, very often because we won't let it go, that's when it really negatively impacts your emotional body. For a while there, I was studying years ago, studying the emotional impact on trauma, of trauma on children. And what they found was that when a child had some terrible traumatic thing happen in their life, like the death of a parent, let's say the child was up here, happy, healthy, happy, healthy, happy, healthy, daddy dies, boom, they get slammed down. Of course, they're in depression, they're upset, they have all kinds of things going on. However, after a short time, that pain did not stay as permanent suffering. Instead, the child came back up. So, yes, there was a real down, but then it came back up. And that child continued to have a life that had that pain incorporated in it, but did not define them. On the other hand, children that are raised without any sort of great trauma in their life, but have ongoing stress, ongoing, maybe an alcoholic parent, maybe physically abusive parent, something that keeps that child, instead of up here, way down here, those children have, instead of intermittent pain like trauma would be, have an ongoing pain and tend to release that into long-term suffering. And that's what I want you to think about. I want you to feel about, hey, that bad thing happened, whether it was a bad marriage, a bad childhood, a bad job, a bad investment, whatever it was. But if when it's over, it's just a learning curve. You go down and you come back up. Trauma, come back up to your regular space of health and happiness. However, if you allow pain for a lot of different reasons, there's no blame here. It's unfortunately part of what we are taught by marketers mainly. If you allow that pain to keep you down here, then they've won. You've allowed that pain to become long-term suffering. And then you would be spending 80% of your energy each day instead of happy and healthy and happy and healthy in some sort of dismal existence, or maybe not so dismal, but definitely not where you're supposed to be. Your energies, your emotional body can always be filled with love. Yep, some things happen. You stub your toe, someone dies, a lot of things happen. Pain, and then you come right back up. I find this a lot with fear. The chemical reaction of fear through your body is released in 90 seconds. Something scares you, 90 seconds later, that chemical is gone out of your body. And so again, wow, that was painful, that was fearful, I'm really scared, boom, back up. However, when we hold on to it, when we regurgitate it, when we tell it to so many other people, when we relive that fear over and over and over, your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual body do not know that it's not happening at the moment because you've called it forward. You have set the intention of fear. So instead of it happening 90 seconds later, chemicals are out, I'm back up into health and happiness, instead you're allowing that to become suffering. That's why we hold the emotional body for the 4th, because this is where we're going to be spending more individual time. It takes more for your emotional body to release. Not the angels, they know their job. They know how to take care of it. It's more what we have built up as humans to say, oh, I'm going to stay there. I'm going to hold on to that ugliness. I'm going to hold on to that anger. I'm going to hold on to that depression. Why? Does it make you happy? No, it does not. Take my word for it. None of those things make us happy. Instead, we live in fear that if we lose our fear, we won't have anything. Well, I'm here to tell you, there's a lot out there. A lot. You get rid of the fear. You get rid of the past. You get rid of hitting yourself and hitting your head against the wall saying, woulda, shoulda, coulda, why did I do this? Why did I make that mistake? What about this? Instead, you just say, you know what? That's in the past. I'm going to live from now forward. Now, I know it's a great idea, and I very strongly recommend it. And I also know that some of what has happened in the past, whether it happened yesterday or 500 years ago, past lives, can become trapped in your emotional body. We refer to those as trapped emotions. It's not so easy to get rid of them. However, the main purpose of them being there is because they don't know their job is done. So just like we said to your mental body at the beginning, you know what? It's okay. If there's any thoughts that come through, just remind me later. I'll take care of them later. We're now going to say to your emotional body, and this includes the emotional body that came with you from past lives, and say, you know what? I'm done with those emotions. You know, when you scared me that time so I wouldn't walk in front of a charging horse, thank you so much for doing that. But I don't need that anymore. You know, when you gave me fear so I would hide under the bed because I had an abusive father, thank you so much for helping me. I don't need that anymore. So what we are saying to your emotional body is release, open up, let the tears flow. Because when we allow our emotional body to be open, then your spirit guides can take out those trapped emotions. Then your spirit guides can release, if you have one, a heart wall that stops you from loving fully yourself and others and receiving love from others. Then we can relax and allow what is to be as the golden age to really becoming part of us, rather than, oh, that was a great idea, but I think I'll leave that behind. So working strictly now with the emotional body as I talk you through this. Of course, your angels are working on the physical, mental, and spiritual. We're working diligently on the emotional body. So we call forward all those little bits of trapped emotion, little energy balls that show up in your body. Instead of chasing them down everywhere, we call for them all to come together, at least the ones that are ready to be released, because I know that you're in human form, and sometimes in human form, we're only ready to release certain things. And if you're only ready to release certain things, then obviously because you have free will, we can only remove those things. But I'm telling you, the more you release, the more energized you will become. The more you release, the more your love and vivaciousness will bump up. So I want you to go into your own inner wisdom, your own inner knowing, and to whatever level is comfortable for you, just simply take slow, deep breaths. Slow, deep breaths that allow your emotional body to feel comfortable in this space. Slow, deep breaths, opening your heart, opening your wisdom, opening your emotional body, which, as we know, spreads way out there with your auric field and way behind you into past lives. And now we ask your angels to gently sweep together those balls of trapped emotion. Sometimes, just like with the rest of your bodies, you will start to feel that movement, and it might scare you a little bit. And when you feel that movement, please just allow it to be. And when you feel that movement, if there's any sort of restriction or constriction, it's okay. Just send it love, because again, you're raising your vibration. And when you raise your vibration, then things below that vibration, including trapped emotions, will naturally want to go. You don't need some sort of very fancy idea of how to clear. You're already that energy. You already have within you the ability to clear out negative. And that's what we're doing. Sure, you've called upon me as a helper, you've called upon the angels, you've called upon your spirit guides, and that's good because we are called to be in sacred community. But you are not a weakling. You are not someone that cannot be empowered even higher than you already are. So feeling that empowerment, feeling that brushing sensation from your angels. What I find very often is that you will feel a brushing sensation down your legs. These are kind of the lighter trapped emotions that are easy to get rid of, and they'll be flowing down your legs to your feet and then be taken from your feet either into Mother Earth or, of course, into the heavens. These are the light trapped emotions, maybe things that you just kind of stumbled over recently, maybe things that have stopped your progress. But the vast majority of serious, let's call it serious trapped emotions, are in the trunk of your body. And so for that, rather than have them flow all the way down your legs, we will consider a gathering place. And because we're looking for everything to be interconnected, we'll consider that gathering place to be in the center of your trunk, to be kind of below your heart and above your solar plexus, in that area, perhaps even overlapping with your heart and your solar plexus, which is a beautiful place to bring trapped emotions, because your heart is love and wants to love them, and your solar plexus is movement and wants to move them. So we call on your angels to gather all of the bundles of energy that are being called to be removed, that you have said, with love and integrity, I want these out of here so that I can become that person I really want to become, so that I can raise my vibration to the point where, as I walk through my life, I walk through my life with such a bright light that everything becomes manifested for my best and highest good, quickly and completely. Sometimes this takes a little bit of time. Again, when you feel any kind of restriction, kind of like clamping off a hose, just send it love. Don't overthink it. It has nothing to do with your mental body now. It's all your emotional body. You might start to see a few things, maybe some pictures from the past, maybe faces of people. These are just trapped emotions that are basically ready to leave. They're not being re-embedded. They're leaving, and they're basically saying, goodbye, I'm done. Now, talking really to your trapped emotions more than to you, I look at them and I say to them, thank you for the job that you've done. Thank you for protecting this person. Thank you for allowing this person's life to evolve the way it was to evolve, whether it was in a past life or this life. And this person no longer needs it. We are now years past the new energy. And being years past the new energy, we know that things can happen quickly, succinctly. We thank you for the work that you've done. We thank you for hanging out with this woman and man for so long. And then we also say to you, your job is finished. You that held her in fear for so long, trying to be good, trying to bring forward an avenue where she would feel safe and comfortable, holding her away from things that were scary. We thank you for that. And we also want you to know it is 2018. We also want you to know that these adults that are around you are not the children that are hovering in the corner. Instead, we say, thank you so much for the work that you have done, and your job is over. We are gathering you together so that you can come as one basket, let's say, a basket full of loving, trapped emotions that are no longer needed. And we pull you up and we'll send you to the light as soon as everything comes together in that beautiful basket. Again, when you feel some sort of delay, that is not because your angels are slow, it's because there's something in you that's saying, maybe I'm not quite right about this yet. So I invite you, as the human, as the one with free will, the one with free choice, to say to yourself, to say to your guides, to say directly to your trapped emotions, using your mind and your voice, I'm ready to release you. Yes, let it go. Allow it to become what it is to become, pure and perfect. Spending 80% of your daily energy on joy and love and enjoyment and integrity, and being able to smell the roses and skip through the flowers. How cool is that? And that's what we are calling for. Because what I just described is the golden age. The golden age, you will not be without contrast. You get to choose whether you want to be on the mountains or in the water. The golden age has all the fun that we have now, all the variety that we have now. What it doesn't have is the pain. It doesn't have war. It doesn't have disease. It has the perfection of you and I and all of us returning to that continual conversation that we have had with our spirit guides eons ago when we first came to planet, and we had a huge amount of space, and that conversation was really, really low. And now that conversation is opening up again. That's the golden age. That's how we create it. We don't create it with a hammer and nails. We create it with our hearts. We create it with that interconnectedness of each other as humans and also with all of our spirit guides. Oh, beautiful. They're gathering your basket of trapped emotions. Like I said, sometimes this takes a little bit of time, mainly because people tend to fight this body more than the others. And so we're going to, again, allow the angels to work on that. Now, while they're working on all four of your bodies, because as you know, with me in healing, I like to layer things. I don't see any purpose in just doing one thing. We're going to be together. Why not bring as much as we can together to bring a higher level of love to you, that higher level of health? So while they are working on the four different bodies, we're also going to be working on the interconnectedness of those bodies. It's not a natural state. We have been taught, marketed to from teachers. How many of you sat in your classroom and you looked out the window and your teacher scolded you because she wanted you to use your brain? And she'd say, "You're just daydreaming. Don't use your imagination now." Duh, your imagination, your brain, your inner wisdom, your heart, all the parts of you are supposed to work together as a holistic being. But she didn't know any better. And it's okay because we were all working with the tools that we had. So when we call them and say, individually, you are looking good. Thank you, angels, for doing your job. Now, we also want you to basically hold hands with each other. Make sure that the mental body and the physical body are together. Ooh, how many of us know better? How many of us think, mentally, yeah, I know I shouldn't eat that and I should eat that. But our physical body, not being in alignment with our mental body all the time, is like, I'm going to eat it anyway, even though later on I may end up with indigestion. But when we bring it together, it's not a matter of fighting. It's not a matter of willpower. It's a matter of saying mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually what is best for this entire being. And it becomes very earth-based for you. Your body, mind, soul, and emotions will come together with a consensus that says, oh, this is what is best for him to be eating. These are the activities that are best. These are the relationships that are best. These are the decisions that are best. All holistically, all brought together. So we call on all four of them. If you can imagine it like this, they're sitting in a circle, but a tight circle. So they're all four holding hands, energetically holding hands with each other and allowing that vibration to whip around through all four of them. So now they're in constant communication. It's kind of like being on a group email or a group text. Yes, now we have that. We didn't have that 20 or 30 years ago. If I said those words to you 30 years ago, you'd have no idea what I was talking about, but you do now. And part of the technology that we are experiencing is earth technology. That's how we can reach out to each other. When you envision those four bodies reaching out to each other, it's not as if it's 1 + 1 + 1 + 1. They're all interconnected. They're all working together for your best experience of this lifetime, next lifetime, when you come back to celebrate the golden age. Thank you very much. And all those lifetimes in between, all that spirituality, when they release so that no one is fighting the other, when we're not saying to a child or an adult, don't use your imagination, use your brain. Instead, we bring it all together. That's the beauty of life being lived to its fullest. Life on this planet, life on other planets, life in other dimensions, and even life on the other side of the veil, because as above, so below. So holding hands, they're still working on all four of your bodies, if you will. Holding hands, feeling that interconnectedness, allowing the quantum physics to really play a big part here. Because when the idea of health, let's say, I want to be healthier, when that idea comes to you, it through quantum physics, if you will, boom, booms out to all four of them. You don't have to explain to your physical body what your mental body is telling you, or emotional or spiritual. It just all exists in the same time and space, so that all of you become healthier, happier. And because your quantumness doesn't end with your own being, it actually goes out to every being in the multiverse. You're also sending that vibration out to others. So as you raise your vibration, as you get healthier and happier, you're automatically, even if you don't Ho'oponopono, you're automatically sending it to others. So taking that slow, deep breath, just allow it to be. You don't have to do anything. Your whole purpose is to love life, to enjoy this adventure. And so what you do to enjoy it is you simply back away. You tell your guides, do the work. They tell the angels, this is the work to do. And it becomes this beautiful interconnectedness. Taking a slow, deep breath. Now you might really feel some movement as all these different bodies are chatting with each other, if you will. We allow their work to continue. And remember, you might be so deeply in meditation that when you watch this later on, it becomes this new adventure to you. And that's okay, because I'm not really talking to you, meaning your ears. I'm really talking to your inner wisdom. So having all of that work going on, making sure your angels are doing all of that, we're also going to take a check of your chakras and making sure that they also are interconnected beautifully, that they are supporting one another, that they are basically streaming life force energy, not just to that chakra, but between all of those purposes, let's say. So slow, deep breath, starting at the bottom, seeing that beautiful spinning disc of red, one chakra straight down to the earth, uniting you with Mother Earth beautifully, comfortably, with health and love. And now gently coming above that to your sacral. Your sacral has a chakra which opens to both the front and the back. And I want you to see them, envision them, send that intention to them using your imagination and your mental and somewhat your physical and your spiritual and your emotional body, that they're not separate from the beautiful root, but they are contained, partially overlapping with it, because that's how their communication works. It's like having a fabulous wiring system, or probably more likely a Wi-Fi system, but it all goes through your silver cord. So I think it's both. I think it's like they have it hardwired and they have it Wi-Fi. Thank goodness we invented computers so we could have this conversation. So the orange, front and back, watching it spin back and forth, releasing what doesn't and bringing in what does, and interconnected with the beautiful red of the base. And now coming up a little further, envisioning your solar plexus. Now this chakra, again, one in the front, one in the back, again, going back and forth, clockwise and counterclockwise, all in one swift movement to bring in and take out, bring in what feeds you, take out what is not nourishing for you. Again, gently overlapping with yellow, and then coming up from yellow to orange to red, and coming up from yellow to green. And now your heart chakra, which is the most flexible of all of your chakras. It is the one that, if you've worked with me with that, sometimes we talk about stretching through your heart chakra. There's actually a beautiful healing practice where we stretch through your heart chakra. And if it's something you haven't done so far, but you want to, please just send me an email and I'll tell you the next time we're going to be doing that. Because it's a full, a full healing session, so we can't squeeze it in here. So, but we know that your heart chakra is the most flexible, the most fluid. And we know that your heart chakra, because it unites the 3 lower with the 3 upper, also has a big, big job to do, kind of like a transformer speaking from the heavens to the earth. So we send out an extra layer of love and comfort and integrity to your heart chakra. And we watch it spinning in the front and in the back. Beautiful green, beautiful, like you see out in Mother Nature. And this green is all about self-love. What we want to do today, because we're making sure that everything is interconnected, is we want to also go to the next layer of color for your heart chakra. The next layer of color is pink, which is universal love. So now you're working with all of your chakras are going to be, make sure that we're overlapping them, but also in particular your heart chakra, lots of self-love and love of others. And this includes people you know and people you don't know. So watching that beautiful movement of green, and then as it comes out away from your body a little bit, you will see that beautiful movement of pink. And again, everything is interconnected, everything is overlapping, everything is speaking to one part of you to the other, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Beautiful. Red, orange, yellow, green coming out to pink. Now coming back to your heart chakra with the green, we come up to the beautiful light blue, sky blue of your throat chakra. Knowing that your throat chakra must always be in contact with your heart chakra so that the words that you speak, the way that you present yourself are based in love and integrity. Even when you have to, unfortunately, scold someone, there's a way to scold someone. There's a way to explain your discontent without it being personalized, without it being difficult. You can speak through your throat chakra even when it is something that you're complaining about, a legitimate complaint, because that's how people grow, but still be basing it in love from your heart. So that beautiful blue in the front and beautiful blue in the back, light blue. And that is also interconnected with the dark blue of your third eye. And again, why is this so important? Well, all of it's important. But today, because we're looking mainly at spirit workers here, this is so important that you also present yourself to the world, which is your throat chakra, in a way that, yes, is heart-based and intuition-based. Because isn't that really what you want to present? Don't you want to present, wow, I just downloaded this fabulous information from Archangel Michael. I just downloaded this fabulous information from Mother, Father, God. I just received these great gifts from my inner wisdom. That's allowing your third eye to speak through your throat. So you see that light blue overlapping with that dark, dark indigo blue. Again, keeping all of them interconnected, red, orange, yellow, green coming to pink, light blue, and then dark blue. And if, as you're envisioning these, they seem separated to you, there's nothing you have to do. That's the angel's job to do. But when you see them separated, you give permission. You say to the angels, okay, I do want to be interconnected. I do want to make sure that everything is interlocked, that they're having ongoing conversation. So as you're envisioning this, if they seem separated or they seem weak or they seem like they're not moving very quickly, it's okay. Don't go into the brain and try to figure it out. It's not a thinking thing. You go into your own intelligence that you unite with your spirit guides and say, yep, I see there's a problem there. Take care of that for me. And let them take care of it. That's their job. And they're so happy to do it. They're so excited that now we have more and more people calling on them rather than keeping it quiet the way that it was before this time, before we came into the time of evolution that we're in now. Envision, enjoy, and then we get to your crown chakra. Your crown chakra is most often the color of a beautiful deep amethyst. And there's only one. It goes straight up to Mother, Father, God. And it also agitates back and forth. And as it agitates, it is beautiful purple. Now, what we're going to do here is make sure everything's interconnected. So it's touching on the dark blue of your third eye, and it's shooting up wisdom and retaining for itself, bringing down from the heavens wisdom. Now, as you go past the purple, you will see that it becomes divine white light. And when I say divine white light, because everything is included in there, all the colors. So it looks like it's white. However, when I envision it, when I see it on people, myself and others, it's white with a tinge of silver to it. And I love the fact that there's a tinge of silver. I always think of that as the color of angel wings, but also silver is one of the colors of the feminine divine. And isn't that part of what we are pulling down now? Because that feminine divine is creative activity. So we bring down those creative activities, it flows over all of your chakras. And now with them interconnected, spinning beautifully, working for the best and highest good of you and the multiverse, wow, now we have creative energy. Now we can take our ideas and instead of keeping them under wraps, open them up and say, now that the divine feminine has stepped forward, has given us a way to develop what we want to develop. It may be developing a business, it may be developing a relationship, it may be developing our own physical health, it may be developing a new language, of the language of light. Whatever it is, the feminine divine brings it to us to create. We've always had everything we needed, we just didn't know how to bring it together. The masculine divine is the provider, and he has provided us with all that you see around you. The feminine divine is the creative energy, and now it's time for her to really be unveiled so that we can create what we are calling to create individually, best and highest, and also collectively. Going really far out there, collectively, we are building the golden age. So taking some slow, deep breaths, I'm going to give you a moment to go back through your chakras. And like I said, if there's something that you see that's out of whack, it's okay. You set the intention for it to be cleared, for it to be healthier and happier, and the angels will do it. It's your intention that starts it. Then you allow it, and then they'll do their work. Going back to where this beautiful process started, taking slow, deep breaths, I see that the angels of physical, under the direction of Archangel Raphael, have finished their job. I see the angels of mental, under the direction of Archangel Michael, have finished their job. I see the angels of the spirituality, the direct direction of source energy, have completed their job. And I see the angels under the emotional body, working with Lady Nada, working with Master Saint Germain, working with a number of other energies and entities that have come from the past to the now to take care of you, are finished their job for today. I see your chakras as being beautiful, bright, spinning clearly, and overlapping with one another, overlapping directly because none of them stand alone, and overlapping indirectly because they are constantly in communication with one another. Taking a slow, deep breath, you said at the beginning that you were calling on your angels to do this work. And now that we are reaching the end point of that, I ask you to call on your angels, your spirit guides, your source energy with gratitude. Because for this time that it felt like you were just relaxing, there was so much movement going on. For the individual, this is more movement than we would have experienced in literally thousands of years before, because before we were locked into the old energy. Now that we're released from the old energy, now that things can move very quickly, now that we got the template, if you will, of perfection that says, hey, let's just go into the Akashic record and pull out health and happiness and joyousness, living in integrity and light, very, very fast. Now, I don't know that everything that you wanted has been brought to you and that everything that you didn't want has been released. But I can tell you this, I want you to really, really go deep into yourself, particularly over the next couple of days, and feel that vibration. I call it spiritual vitality because all of a sudden things do look different. Things that aggravated you before that now you're like, it's just the way she is. Things that you ignored and all of a sudden you see those beautiful bright yellow flowers in your front yard. All of the decisions that you made that you beat yourself up over, it's not that important anymore because you truly can. When you drop the past, you truly can live in the now. And whatever past you dropped, you're a lot better off than you were an hour ago. And whatever divine white light you allowed to flow to you will continue to grow. The things that you leave go directly to the light. They're gone. They're never coming back. You may, over the next couple of days, find yourself in a little tiny bit, not big, but a little bit of a roller coaster, particularly your emotional body. Because when we take all this stuff out, everything has to kind of resettle. It's like shaking up those snow globes, and then we let them go and the snow has to resettle. Well, everything that we took out is gone, but the rest of you needs to resettle. Those beautiful, bright, physical parts of you that are now healthier and happier have to find their space. Those emotional parts that are now happy to become part of who you really want to be, not who you felt you were trapped into being in the past, all have to settle into you. So over the next couple of days, like I said, it'll be kind of quick and easy. You may suddenly see a face, or you may have a memory, or you may even feel in your emotional body like the sadness, and then a short time later, happiness. It's all right. Those are just the remnants that are still leaving, because I don't want to, when we stop this conversation, to say to your guides and to your angels, okay, we're done. Why would I do that? Most of the work is done here when we're in sacred space together because I'm channeling it through me to you. However, what is still part of me being channeled to you, part of that divine, part of that wisdom from beyond us and coming to you, will continue. It has a big drop off once we finish this conversation, but it does continue at least for 2 or 3, for some of you, 4 days. And as it continues, just know it's more of that gentle cleansing and purifying. It's more them tapping into you to say, oh, this is what she wants. Oh, this is how he can become a better person, a happier person. And they will continue that for a few days. Now, of course, any questions that you have or concerns, or if you just want to tell me how your experience was, please send me an email. I love to read about your progress because we know that all of us are interconnected. Your progress is my progress. My progress is your progress, which is part of the reason I take my job very seriously as both a channel, as an oracle, as a teacher, as an energy healer, because I know as I raise my vibration, whether I'm teaching or I'm in meditation, or I'm helping in a social situation, helping the poor and helping to raise whatever is coming to me from spirit, I know that it's not just me. It's you and you and you and you, and it's the entire universe. We don't need 100% of the people to be sitting in front of us. What we need is a very small percentage, because every time you go into meditation, every time you go into prayer, every time you hand some money to a homeless person, every time that you give praise, even a word of praise to another person, you are raising the vibration of the earth. And we only need a small percentage of us working diligently to raise that vibration to create the golden age. Don't worry about convincing other people. You live your life with love and integrity, and they will follow you. They have to, really, because you're raising the vibration of the planet. Thank you so much for being here. Again, send me a note, Jackie@thehealingtrinity.com. You probably already knew that. And also, I invite you to send me and others just love, as much love as can flow through you, which is an endless supply from life force energy, from Mother, Father, God, from Source, through me to you, through you to others, raising that vibration. Now, for some of you, you'll want to come out of meditation. And so I will walk you out. However, for some of you watching it now or watching it later, I know that you don't want to come out of meditation. You want to just live in that blissfulness for a while later. And that's a good thing. So, what I'll do is gently bring you out of meditation for those of you that want to come out. For those that don't, we set the intention that says, allow this person to stay there in meditation or in sleep, because you know that your guides can really zip and download great information to you in meditation or in physical sleep. So, if you want to come out of it, then listen to my words and progress through it. And if you don't want to, that's fine too. I'll meet you again if you're coming back for next month, the first Sunday of December. Can't remember what month I'm in all the time. Taking a slow, deep breath, sending that love and gratitude. I love you, I love you, I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Gently bringing your awareness to the room that you're in. Gently starting to move your fingers and toes. Gently starting to rotate your wrist and your ankles. Gently waking up the base of the Kundalini by tipping your hips left and right. Allowing that movement to first go down your legs, clearing out any sort of confusion of the emotions that went through your legs to the earth, allowing that gentle movement to go up through your back, through your abdomen, through your chest, through your shoulders, and now gently tipping your head, gently stretching your neck, side to side, front to back. And for those of you that want to stay in meditation or sleep, just stay where you are. Know that I am sending you love and blessings. And for those of you that want to come completely out, then you gently sit up if you're lying down and flutter your eyes open so that they can adjust to the light. Thank you, blessed ones. Thank you for being part of this gathering today. Thank you for being part of this gathering lifetime after lifetime. And I'm so glad that we managed to come together again so that we could create the golden age. I am sending you love and blessings. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.